All right. I think we are live. So let's give about some folks about another 3 minutes here and just give people some time to join the live. If we can get some folks. That's the other thing, right? In the meantime, see if I can pull up my screens and stuff and get myself situated. So bear with me, guys. Okay. Yeah, this is when you guys get to see the behind the scenes. When you see people, so when you guys get to see what's happening here behind the scenes, as they say. So again, we're giving some folks some time to join the live. So right now we are just setting things up. So let's give people just a moment here, and then we'll go from there. So I appreciate you guys being patient. And plus, I have about 6:37 p.m. Eastern time, and we actually should be starting at 6:39 p.m. Eastern time. So there's your 369 right there, folks. All right. So again, we'll start here soon. Just a behind the scenes setup. Okay. And let me get my chat going. Awesome. Hey, Kim. Hey, Candy. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. We'll be starting here in about 2 minutes. So just kind of bear with me and hang tight. Let's give some people some time to join. Or it might just be us three. So either way, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. All right, we should be starting soon here. Okay, everything seems to be working just fine. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. All right, we should be starting here soon. So there it is, 6:39 p.m. Eastern time. We are starting now. So hopefully we get some folks joining. And if not, that's okay. We are going to try this out and see what happens. So again, folks, for those of you that are here, thanks a lot. This is my second live that I'm doing. I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I have an idea, but we're figuring this out together. So this is my second live. This is for a segment, a solo segment that I'm doing every Wednesday at 6:39 p.m. Eastern time. And this is a segment that's outside of my routine podcast, which is Beyond the Frequency 369, where I have guests coming in and talking about their experiences and the things that and the things that they've seen, they've learned, research, their belief systems, the supernatural, all that good stuff, right? So if you guys have been watching my show, you guys understand what I'm talking about here. But this segment is something that a lot of you have been asking me to just do a solo one, just of me talking about my own thoughts, my own perspectives, my own ideas, right? And just an opportunity for us to engage. You know, if I could, I would have all of you as a guest on the show at the very same time. But since I can't do that, the best thing that I can do is do a live and allow you guys to engage with me, ask me questions. I can see what's going on with you guys, share some things that are going on with me. We can use this opportunity to even talk about past episodes, things that maybe you didn't understand, guests that I've had, conversations. I mean, this can go any kind of different way because it's alive, right? So engage, 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 engage. And as I do this episode, this live episode, which there's no edits, no production value, just me in my home studio, trying to bring you guys some content. So ask questions. I will do my very best I'll be do my very best to answer your questions as I'm doing the show. But most definitely, I will get to your comments and questions before I get off. Okay, so if I'm in the middle of a conversation or doing something, I will make sure to look over these chats and answer any questions or comments that you guys may have. So I appreciate that. Folks, as a quick reminder, again, I am doing this live. It's going to be 60 minutes. We can go a little bit over if we have to, but the goal is 60 minutes, just an hour of live content. And today's topic is going to be Mindsight. So if you guys have heard of Mindsight or seen me do it or even talk about it, I'll be talking to you about that, what it is, my understanding of it, my journey to get there, and a demonstration, live demonstration, so you guys can see what I can do here, right? So let's see here. Kennedy's asking, so you've been developing your Mindsight. Have you still been practicing OBEs? Just wondering. Absolutely, Kennedy, absolutely. So the Mindsight is something that once, and I'll get into more into deep, obviously, as we go through the show, but just in general, it's something that doesn't turn off for me. Okay. Once you open your window, it's on. As for the OBEs, I also practice the OBEs. I haven't done one in probably about a good 2.5, maybe three months. And that's just because I've been busy, life stressors, things that are going on, right? You need to be in a relaxed state, a relaxed mindset to be able to do these OBEs effectively. So yes, I've been doing them both. I appreciate you asking me that question. All right, guys. So I have to do a routine housekeeping, and what I mean by have to, I gotta promote certain things, right? So let me take care of that to knock that out here up front. And bear with me here because I'm looking at all these different buttons that I have to push. All right, so where is it? There you are. Okay. All right, guys, I have a website, beyondthefrequency369.com. By all means, after this live show or anytime when you have the opportunity, check it out. There's a lot of cool things in there. Talks more about me, about my journey, about my podcast, the whole purpose and the reason why I created it. And then also it has all my past episodes, my current ones, and even we have tabs for training, right? So I talk about Mindsight, which I'm going to talk to you about today. And I do classes, I do courses. So if you're interested, check it out. Talk to me. I'm also there selling my book. So my book is Kaizar's Chronicles, The Anunnaki and Us. And I recently just wrote this book, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. And it's on Amazon. For the ebook is $8.99 and paperback is $13.99. So if you guys can go over there and check it out and support it, I actually have a copy right here. See, it is exactly 33 pages. It's not a hard read, guys. Okay. The book was intended for young minds, but anybody can read it. Anybody. All right. As long as you're open to discovering new knowledge, new information, a new story. I definitely encourage, check it out. It's a wonderful story. It takes ancient texts, ancient knowledge, ancient scripture, ancient stories, and it dumps them down just a little bit so that way children can read it and understand it. And the purpose is not to convince anybody that the stories here is true or not. That's not the whole point. The point is just to introduce it, plant a seed, and let the individual water that seed. All right. So if they're curious, you'll do your research, you'll look into it, you'll ask questions, you'll contact me. or you'll find it. You'll find it once you start getting to the esoteric stuff. You'll find out more information. So I have a lot of like hidden Easter eggs and things like that. So check it out. It's on Amazon. I appreciate the support. And if you have bought one already, please go to Amazon, write me a quick review, because it really helps push the excuse me, helps to push the book out there. See what happens when you're live? You start choking around your words. Give me one sec, please. All right. Water. That should be all right. And let's see here. Also, I have an announcement. So a few days ago, I put out a vote. I was trying to figure out what name we can call our community, right? I don't really like labels, but I feel like when it comes to a community, it builds intimacy, it builds some kind of like purpose and unity. And so I put out there a couple of ideas just randomly that I had in mind. And the winning community name was, let me put it up here, the 369 Collective. Folks, I love that. I completely 100,000% love that. You guys voted it, which makes it even more, special. And I love it because it's not just a title, it's a reflection of what we're building here. So in esoteric terms, the number 3 is creation, and the number 6 is harmony, and the number 9 is rebirth and completion. So together they form a cycle, the process of remembering who we truly are. And the word collective reminds us that we're not alone in this journey. Every one of us is adding our frequency into the mix, creating a shared vibration, if you will, that's stronger than anything we could do individually. So, folks, when you hear the 369 Collective, know that it represents creation, balance, and completion, and all of us moving beyond that frequency together. And if you guys know, I'm a big fan of Tesla. And Nikolai Tesla famously said, if you only know the magnificence of the 3, the 6, and the 9, then you would have the key to the universe. So I'm a huge fan of this name, 369 Collective. That's who we are from now on. I will be addressing all of you as a community by that name. And I think it's going to be very, very, very cool. Let's see here. Awesome. And let me show this here. So Stacy, I got one. My kids loved it. They're 8 and 7. Stacy, thank you so much. That means that means the world to me. I appreciate it. And Stacy, if you haven't already, please go on Amazon and write a review. And I would just appreciate, I'm super grateful for it. I'm so glad that your kids love it and enjoy it. Tell them I said hello. If you have their names, if you don't mind, if you want to put them on here, and I'll give them a little shout out, and tell them thank you myself. Let's see. Awesome. So we don't know. Awesome. We don't know. Hey, I appreciate you too. I love you. I see you. I hear you. I am you. So thanks for joining me. Juliana, how are you? I appreciate you also coming on, and folks, it's awesome. I love the engagement. And like I said earlier, for those of you that are just jumping on, I will check out the chats as I'm conversing. And then, but if I don't get to all of them, I will make sure that I check them out at the very end, and get to all the comments and questions before I sign off. So that's awesome. Stacy, wow, Stacy, you guys are in Canada. All right. I don't know what the Canadian thank you is. I'm guessing it's just thank you. Everybody, every place has like a particular saying that they do. Maybe it's cheers. I don't know. But either way, thank you for that. So that's awesome. All right. Let's see here. And yes, I actually made we don't know, just ask about just said that we made a Discord community, and I did make a Discord community. So let me actually find that. Here it goes right here. So again, you guys, and all of these links that I'm putting up on the screen, I will have them at the bottom of the description once it finishes loading and recording and things like that. So you guys can come back, in a few hours after the show and click on these links and go straight to it. So the Discord, I've never really actually been on one, right? So I just recently created it about 2-3 days ago. So by all means, join the conversation, join the collective. Let's converse. Let's have great, like-minded conversations and thoughts and discussions. I mean, that's what this whole point is. This whole purpose of building this community. And you guys, it should go without saying, as we talk in this community, it should be with respect and love, and understand that everybody has their own perspective. But I have a strong feeling that if you're joining this collective, we're all like-minded beings. All right. So we all might not have the same answers, but we're definitely on the same path to get there. So let's share. I I mentioned to folks, even as we talk offline or through the podcast shows, that in order to find out what's really going on, what our reality truly is, we have to have conversation. We have to have conversation with each other. You guys are on the other side of the globe. I'm in Florida. So some of you are in Canada, some of you are in some of the states here in the United States, some of you are overseas. I've met many of you through DMs and emails, and chats throughout the entire world. So, which I thank all of you. I thank all of you because this show wouldn't be where it's at today if you guys aren't giving me back feedback, making comments, sharing, and liking. Which I gotta throw that up there, right? Make sure that you share and like this live, my podcast, my channel. Talk about it. What I try to do is I try to bring in guests to um, to inspire you, to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. Through their conversations, through their experiences, hopefully it triggers some kind of remembrance in you, you know? Hopefully it triggers something. And what I mean by remembrance, this means that sometimes you like something and you don't know why. You're like, I don't know why I like that, but it feels right. That feeling, that to me is remembrance. That's a part of you remembering who you truly are, what you like, what you don't like, what's for you and what's not for you. All right. So I always say it doesn't really matter what's being said throughout the entire episode. As long as something in that conversation triggered a remembrance, we've done our job. So, all right, folks. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start this here, and let me see if this works this time. I'm going to hit my what do you call it? My intro, and let's see if this works properly. What if I told you that everything you know is just the beginning? Beyond the veil of the ordinary lies a realm of hidden knowledge, ancient wisdom, and untapped potential. A place where consciousness expands, reality bends, and the impossible becomes possible. You weren't meant to stay asleep. You were meant to awaken. Open your mind, remember who you truly are, and step with me beyond the frequency 369. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that intro. But yeah, I guess it's part of the process here. Again, guys, this is my second live. I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but I am figuring out. What I really want to get out of this every Wednesday at 6:39 p.m. Eastern time is I just want to be able to engage with you. So I want to talk to you. I want you guys to be able to talk to me, ask me questions that maybe I haven't gotten to on the comments, or you guys have watched my shows and there's something that maybe you want to ask me or about the guest. This is that time to do it. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Just reading here. We don't know. It feels right. Is my new North Star. I love it. I absolutely love it. It feels right. Is my new North Star. I love that. Appreciate you sharing that. And that's true. Sometimes that saying where they say follow your heart, follow your passion, your excitement. That's why I tell folks that when I was asked once by a fan. They asked me, how do I know when my expanded self, or some of you might call it your higher self, is speaking to you? And I said, easy. If I'm passionate about something or excited about something, that's for me. That is my expanded self talking to me, saying, hey, that's what you like. Why? Because my expanded self knows that currently, right now, this version of me forgot. All right. As we came in through the veil, we forgot who we truly are. And then the world convinced us otherwise. So if you feel passionate and excited about something, you're drawn to it, go for it. Go for it. All right. It's for you. Um, all right, so let's see here. All right, so we did the intro, and all right, so folks, again, the topic today is Mindsight. And before I jump into my own journey with Mindsight, let's take a step back. What exactly is Mindsight, right? So the easiest way for me to explain what it is, it's the ability to see without your physical eyes. Sounds wild, I know that. But this isn't just some new age idea. There's actually history and research around something very similar. So there's a concept called dermal vision. Sometimes it's called skin vision. Basically, it's the idea that people can actually perceive shapes, colors, or even light using their skin instead of their eyes. So there were studies of this back in the mid 1900s in Russia, with blindfolded people that were able to read or identify objects by just running their hands over the object, or over the colors and things like that. So if there was like a yellow card, they would put their hand next to it, be blindfolded, and they can perceive the signal of yellow, like if they were seeing it with their eyes, right? So that's actually pretty cool. And and from a scientific perspective, it does make sense in a way, right? So our skin has light sensitive cells, and the brain, it's incredibly flexible. So there's a thing called, and I might butcher this up, I think it's called neuroplasticity, right? In the brain can actually reroute signals. So if it learns to treat sensations on the skin as visual input, then it can create a kind of like a scene, right? So some research argues that it's not like real sight, that it's maybe sensitivity to heat, air, or pressure, but whatever. Either way, the skin is far more intelligent than we give it credit for. So now, from an esoteric perspective, this lines up perfectly, actually, with many of these old traditions that have always been taught that perception doesn't come from the eyes. See, the eyes are just tools. It's the mind and consciousness that actually do the seeing. So in yogic or Taoist or mystical traditions, talk about the body being full of perception gateways. All right, with this skin being one of the biggest, the largest, right? So mindsight is basically tapping into this inner vision, just in a more direct and a more of a trainable way. So when I say mindsight is about seeing with the eyes, it's not just some woo-woo idea. One, because I do it, right? But science shows that our body can pick up way more than we realize. And spirituality reminds us that we are more than these physical eyes and these physical senses. So mindsight is where the two meet. Science and spirit shaking hands. So just keep that in mind. And let me get to this. So Kim, have you ever seen anything that was not physical with mindsight? Not physical. So if I'm interpreting your question correctly, you're asking me, have I seen, when I'm looking through that frequency, have I seen things, right? The answer is yes. One of those things is, uh, I think this was let's see, we are in September, mid-September. Mm, I say about 2.5 months ago or so. I was practicing Mindsight. Once I opened up, I just stayed in the house, right? I'm just trying to make sure that I can walk around, my furniture, and just see things, right? That's actually just cool to be able to see in real time. And I'll explain all of this after I do the demonstration. But but anyways, a few months back, I decided, well, let me just step outside. Let me be out in the sunlight because, folks, the sun was actually a big, big part of my success to opening up my window. The contrast from complete darkness, because I use these blackout sleep masks. Those, and also the contrast between my blackout mask and the sun just being the brightest thing out there, was exactly what I needed, okay, for my brain to switch and figure it out. So to answer your question, Kim, in this one time that I was outside, I actually was looking at the sun. I was trying, the idea was, can I look at the sun? All right. And as I found the sun, guess what? I actually was not squinting. I was able to look directly at the sun without squinting. Now, I'm going to ask you, right? Now, I know you guys can't answer this, but this is more of a rhetorical question. Why do you think I wasn't squinting? And the answer to that is, I wasn't using my physical eyes. I wasn't using my organic eyes, right? So there was no need to squint. It wasn't too powerful. Mindsight allows me to see light outside of my limited senses. Okay. And it was beautiful. And it is circular. From the view that I saw, it is circular. Now, in that same session or moment, I was looking around just to kind of see I was outside in my driveway area, just kind of looking around. I got my blindfold. I'm sure neighbors were driving by and seeing me. And I started seeing these black orbs. Now, check this out. These black orbs were in like a collective ball, kind of like a honeycomb, but not really in a honeycomb shape. So they were these circular orbs. They were translucent on the inside, kind of like looking through like mesh. And then around it was this dark rings. Every single one had dark rings. Some of them were solo, but the majority of them were together. Like, I don't know how many there were. Let me just trying to think of maybe a dozen or so, together in one ball, but they were all over the place. And the cool part about this was, one is they look like black snow. They were just falling down. But here's the other thing that tripped me out. As they were falling down, they weren't just falling and going from top to bottom. They were falling and then they were moving to the left, to the right. They sometimes went back up, they went back down. So I guess maybe take out falling out of that. They actually weren't falling, they were just there. They were just existing there. I have no idea. No idea. It's been a few months. I've talked to another friend named Dr. Brooke Soto. So her and I'll have her on my show here one day here in the future. But she also does Mindsight too. I have a bunch of other friends that do Mindsight as well. And we talk. We're like, "What did you see? What do you think that I saw?" And we were talking, and she said, "Cesar, I've been seeing the same thing." And she said that she also calls it black snow because that's what it looks like. It's like if ash was falling, but then ash has a form and it has friends. Um, Let me pause here for a second. And oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Kennedy and Kim, it's amazing. So as I converse further with my associates here regarding Mindsight, we have no idea where to categorize these black orbs. So we call them black orbs, or we call them falling snow. That's about as technical as we can get with it. And I just think that these, until I know what they are, I'm going to call them entities, right? These entities, these beings, they just exist. They just exist. Like, and it's like opening up a window and seeing what's through the window without being able to touch them. And yes, I was moving my hand like this in front of me, trying to see if I can just, you know, touch them or anything stuff. And they were moving, like they're moving away from my hand, but some of them I would just kind of like put my hand through. But there was no interaction. There was no actual physical sensation of just seeing it. Um, and just to cover the basics, there was nothing threatening, there was nothing scary about it. It was just kind of like, wow, like what is this? And they're everywhere. And correction, actually, let me take one step back. They're not in my house. I just thought about it just now. They're not in my house. They're actually only outside. What's the difference? Again, I have no idea. But every time that I go outside, now I expect to see them. I do see them, but because I can't do anything past just seeing them, I just figured they're just there, you know. And then as I'm practicing outside, I somewhat kind of like ignore them. Or sometimes when I'm just kind of relaxing with my blindfold and looking at things, I just watch them. I just watch them just fall, move around, just exist. It's like going to an ethereal zoo. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine going to an ethereal zoo and just seeing these fantastical beings and um, just kind of being in awe and in wonderment of what they are? So that's how I do, how I choose to experience these beings until it goes somewhere else, right? Daniel, so let's see, let's put you up here. All right, where are we at here? The shape you speak of reminds me of a Merkaba shape. Peter Maxwell speaks of consciousness of beings taking on that shape. Daniel, you could be right. You could be right. Now, the Merkaba, from what I understand, it's basically like two triangles. So you have a triangle this way and then a triangle this way, and together you have this like star shape. So I didn't really see them as triangular, if that's the actual term for it. They're more circular. Okay, they're like really perfect spheres with, but like pitch dark round rings, um a meshy center, like kind of like foam, if you will. I have no idea why. I'm just telling you what, how I saw this. um and yeah, they could be from different dimension. Now, when I look through Mindsight, I am looking through a different dimensional space. That dimensional space does exist right on top of the space that this meat suit exists. So it's really not separate, if you will. Okay. The only difference is a very thin membrane of awareness. That's all it is. I basically just am able to just look through a window to be able to see them, but they're here, right? Just like remember, we are multi-dimensional beings, so we exist. A lot of folks think that it's just this, like me, and that's it, right? No, there is infinity versions of me existing in different dimensional spaces, in different realms, in different timelines, if you will, simultaneously at the same time. So just think about that for 1 second. All of you out there are existing in multiple universes, different versions of yourself, but you're still existing. You're still alive. That other version of you is as real as the version of you that exists right now. Okay. So I always say, like, imagine the coolest thing that you could be doing right now. Let's just say the the most perfect job, right? The most perfect job for you, whatever your dream job is, whatever your dream house is, whatever your dream husband or wife, whatever your dream is, if you can think about it, it exists. It exists right now. The fact it's impossible for you to think or imagine about anything that is not within your own field. You exist in a field. Your reality, everything that's around you, that's in your field. That reality that you create, you are a creator being, is coming out of you. All right. And before I jump into the mind side, let me finish off that thought. When you go to sleep, right? When you go to sleep, you dream. You create a world, a universe. And that dream world is physical. All right. It's real. You forget about this waking world, just to give it some context. You forget about this. It's oblivious to you. You have no idea, no remembrance that it exists. But what does exist is your dream, the people, the conversations, the experiences, the buildings, the things that you touch. That's real. Real. Think about that. And where is that coming from? It's coming from you. You are creator of that universe. So now catch this. Let's twist that around. Now you wake up. Now you wake up into this conscious world. Where does that world that was your dream, where did that go? It folded back into you. Process that. That dream world folded back into you. Every part of it, every molecule of it becomes you again. So if you can create an entire world, an entire experience when you're asleep, then the question is, what you're experiencing right now, watching me on this live, chatting, spending time with your family, is this a dream? Is this reality? Now, don't get this confused. I'm not saying the dream world is false, and I'm not saying this is false. I'm saying they're both real. They're both real. Think about it. Jessica Love, how are you? Yes. Yeah. I have seen the Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. Absolutely. Different versions, the multiverse, right? Marvel Universe is out there, throwing out these stories about these possibilities, because they're not stories. All right. They're not stories. All right. So let's do this, folks. Let me look at see, when you're doing a live, you have to have a little bit of an agenda, right? Like a little something to keep you on track. So let's see if we can kind of stay on that here. Let's do, okay. So I'm going to do a demonstration on Mindsight, because that's what you guys came here for. But before I do that, let me throw in my my promo for my book. And then right afterwards, I'll start my demonstration. So here's my promo, and enjoy it. Hey, I'm Cesar, author of Kaizar's Chronicles, The Anunnaki in Us. I didn't write this book just to entertain. I wrote it to spark curiosity, to challenge what we've been told about our origins, and to bring ancient knowledge into the mainstream through the lens of an unforgettable story. It's written as a fantasy, but the roots, they run deep into ancient texts and forgotten truth. This book follows Kaizar, an Anunnaki being who guides readers through a hidden story of humanity. It's perfect for young minds who crave adventure and adults who are ready to question what they think they know. I believe storytelling should set you free, not just take you somewhere, but help you see differently. So if this resonates with you, I challenge you, read it and explore even further. Kaizar's Chronicles is available now on Amazon, $8.99 for the ebook and $13.99 for the paperback. Are you ready to challenge your reality? Let the journey begin. All right. That was fun. All right. Kennedy, awesome. Let's put you on here. Candy, you just bought the ebook. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. I am grateful. As I said before, if you buy a copy of the book, please, after you read it, write a comment for me, please, on Amazon. It really helps push the book out there to get these stories and in people's hands, available to them. If you guys don't help me out, the book just gets lost. It gets, thrown back into the corners, and all the other stuff, all the indoctrinated stuff gets pushed up front. So I appreciate every single one of you, and your purchase also supports the show as well, because this is a labor of love. Okay, so that's cool. All right, thanks. We don't know. It is a cool promo, right? So I definitely do enjoy it. All right, so Mindsight. So folks, here's how this works. If you guys have seen, and if you guys have seen me do this on my other videos, let me know down here as well. And if you're seeing this for the first time, let me know as well in the chat. So look, blindfolds, right? These are blackout sleep mask. So if you guys are going to go to sleep, you buy blackout sleep mask. This one is actually Manta Sleep. And I'm not promoting or sponsoring any of these, but if you guys go also to my website, on my website, I also have links to my Amazon storefront, and in that link you will see a whole section of Mindsight blindfold masks and tools and little things that I use as I was practicing, and even use today, even when I do my training session for folks. So anyways, you want to get a blackout mask, right? And I'm just kind of showing you guys this. So those of you that are seeing this for the first time, my eyes go in here, right? Okay, this is the blindfold here, and I don't know how well this does on the camera here. I'm gonna try to cover that. You guys see it blacks out. Okay, there's no hole. Okay, it's blacked out. And the same thing with this one here. And there really is no preference. It's just up to you. It's what you're more comfortable with, right? I like this one because it's got cushion on it. It's got cushion. Doesn't everything else is soft. So that's what I use. So this is what I'll do here. I will check out my cool hair, right? And a lot of you also see me with my hat on, right? I have long hair, probably about here, but I tuck it all in and put it in the tail and get my hat going, just to make sure that I promote my brand, which is right. Boom, that's the hat that you guys normally see on the shows. So, all right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on, and we'll do. You guys have seen these, right? You guys have seen these color cards that I use. It tells you the shape, the color, right? Tells you if it's square, tells you the color that it's green. They're all here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them. Okay, I don't know which one's which and stuff. And again, I'm not really trying to trick myself because I'm going to be blindfolded, right? So the whole point is, can I see? So I'm going to put these right down here. Okay, there is no other set, so trust me on that. And I am going to put on the blindfold. So make sure, here we go. All right, can you guys see me? that was a rhetorical question. All right, so just so you guys know, I'm going to have my head tilted because for Mindsight, I have a window here on my left side. I have a small window here on my right side that looks kind of like if you're looking through like a baking sheet, right? If you're looking through a baking sheet, you kind of see more like it's like a blurry, but you see light. And then I have a window back here. Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and try to do this. And let me just make sure I don't hit the microphone here. So again, if you guys can see this, hopefully I'm holding this correctly, right? All right. So here we go. Upside down red triangle. And we have a upside down green triangle. Hopefully you guys can see that stuff. green square. This one is what is this? Yellow circle. All right, I can only move my arm back so far. Green circle. A red square. Oh, I always hate I know it's yellow because I have lights on the cameras and everything, so it's kind of, I can't see it so clearly. I'm gonna say it's a yellow triangle, so you guys can confirm if that's true or not. I'll do 2 more. Blue circle, and we'll just pick one from right here in the middle, and a blue square. All right, so hopefully there's that. And let's see here. I even showed that I can read. I'm gonna put up Juliana. You say, "Oh, merch, I love to wear some 369 merch." All right. So yeah, eventually I will get that out. So just stay tuned for that. So yeah, I can also read as well. And let me actually switch this up so that way you guys can also see that there's no preference on this. So let's try this out. All right, so you guys see that this one's built differently, right? All right, and let me just do an example here. All right, so you guys see my mask, and I'll show you what I have here. So I have a 4, a 6, a 3. There's a 1 there. What's that? A 2, a 5, right? Let's see what else. I'm trying to find some stuff here. Let's pull up some stuff. This is, oops, hold on, I'm trying to make sure. All right, this is a zebra. And what do we have here? Wait, what's that? Is that anything? This must be like, this is some kind of word card. Nothing there. A kite, right? Nice little kite. I'll do 2 more, guys. What's this? This is a duck, right? And let's try this one here. What's this? What is that? Oh, a dragonfly. So there you go. All right. So hopefully that's enough there for the demonstration. Oh, actually, let me do one more thing. You guys, so it's not X-ray vision. So let me just show you where my window. I gotta follow it right there. Okay. So there's my window there. And when I put my finger over it, I can't see through it. It's literally like I'm blocking it, which sounds weird, right? You would think that I would be able to see through it, but I just can't. That's just not how Mindsight work. And then I have another one. It's a smaller one right about here. There it is, right there. Okay. So, all right. And let me get myself back to all of that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that demonstration. So let's see what we got here. All right. Yeah, I read the chat. Yeah, I can read a book. I can read a book. I think probably if I could probably read, I don't know, probably for a good 5 minutes, and then I start getting a little bit of a headache. I think it's just a focus deal. And also, so let me talk about my journey on how I got there to Mindsight. And again, if you guys have questions, again, keep throwing them this way, which I'll get to them when I can here. We don't know. We don't know. So you're asking, your mind might have better vision than my eyes. Yeah. So what's actually really cool is that if you wear glasses, and I've talked to a bunch of folks that can do Mindsight, right? Because there is a community for that. Those that wear glasses, they can actually see like perfect vision when they're in their blindfold, right? Which sounds wild, I know, but I can't deny it because I can do it too, right? And also zooming in and zooming out. So what's interesting is that when so first, how do I explain this? I gotta get my thoughts here squared away because I'm pretty excited about it because there's so much to talk about it. Okay, so with your regular eyes, you guys can just see as good as your organic eyes can, right? So whether you have 20/20 or less, that's what you can see. You really can't zoom in and zoom out like you would with like a digital device, right? But with Mindsight, there's no limitations. It's literally your consciousness. It's your clairvoyant eyes. So you're able to actually zoom in and zoom out of things. So I've gone out to my driveway, and probably about three or four doors down to my right of me is a car that is that the back is facing me, so you see the license plate. I'm able to look at that license plate from a distance. With my organic eyes, I have no idea what it says. But with Mindsight, I'm able to look at it and then like focus my attention to it, and it just goes right there. Okay, it actually goes to about as a distance. I would say probably about 10 yards from it or so. But I can see it closer, much closer than I can with my regular eyes. So that's something that was um pretty wild. And I verify with other people as well that can do this. And they say, yeah, I've been doing this for a while as well. And it caught them off guard too. There's a lot of stuff that we're still trying to figure out and work on together. Um okay, so let me answer some of your questions here. So Kennedy, you say, have you noticed your mind sight hole get wider and wider? Oh, that's a great question. So that is the actual objective. So when I first opened up, I was able to just see about from my left side, the window that I was really seeing the cards from. I was seeing it from like the size of a nickel. Okay, so imagine it. Take a nickel, put it in front of your eye, and then black everything out. That's what I'm looking at today as I was doing my demonstration. I can see it through the size of a quarter. Okay, so it's gotten a little bit bigger. um the one behind my ear is more of a, it's not a circle, it's more like of a slit, and it follows my ear. Okay, whether it's there or not, whether it's exposed or not exposed, like if something's like if I have a beanie on it or something, it's still available there. Not sure how that works or why it works that way, but I guess it's just like an imprint. It's a memory. So that one's more of a slit. So if I hold something behind me like that, I would have to kind of just make sure that it's in that window. And by moving it around, I can actually get the image pretty much what it is. Okay. Um, and it's kind of like looking through the crack of a door, if that makes sense. But yeah, the idea is to be able to connect my left window and my back window together to be able to get that 180 perspective. Right now, it's more of just a hole. It's all pitch dark black, and then like this slither. Okay, so I hope that answers your question there. Let's see here. Stacy, hi Stacy. Would you say your site is circular? My son can do this, and his is rectangular. And we started a small pinhole behind his ear, like what you did. Oh, Stacy, that's awesome. I love that you shared that with us. I love that. So, yeah, and I think I just answered your question already. Yes, it is circular. The one behind my ears, like a rectangular deal. It just follows my earlobe, from what I can tell. And then the one on my right side, it's like about the same size as a nickel. So it's just a hole. There's no other way to explain it. It's just a hole. I'm looking through these windows, and we call them windows because they're windows to a different dimensional space, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys when I say window. But everybody who does mind sight, we call that windows as well. So Stacy, say hi to your son and keep encouraging him to do it and practicing. And for all of you, even Stacy, even you as well, anybody who's practicing, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Again, you guys have my email address. You guys can catch me on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, or just on the show or on these lives, but write me, ask me questions. I have no problem answering them to the best of my ability, and see if I can help you guys out, further your journey into Mindsight. Kennedy, yes, it is. It is pretty cool to zoom in and zoom out. I had no idea. I had no idea that you can even do that. No one even told me. It's not like I have people around me that I practice mindsight with. I had to learn this by myself, but talking and conversing with other people and things like that. But it's something that I just said, I wonder if I can do this because, like I said, I know that we're limited in our meat suit. So let me put it this way. And this is the same thing that happens when it comes to OBE when you leave your body is when you're in your body. I think science says that we can only see like less than 1% of the light spectrum. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that. You can see less than 1% of the light spectrum. So that means that everything that you guys see right now in front of you, in your house, how you experience the world is all coming from less than 1% of the light spectrum. That's that's mind blowing. Okay. I don't know if it's just me, but that's mind blowing. Less than 1% is your reality. So when you leave your body, when you exit your body, when you step away from your body, you are no longer limited to this vessel. There's no limitation. You now have 100% access to the full array of the light spectrum. 100%. This is why you guys hear stories of people outside their body that they see different colors. They see things more vibrant. The way that, and right now I'm just going to stick to just the visual ability of it, right? So you 100% of the light spectrum. So I have to ask you this question: what's more real, this in our meat suit, or outside of your body, which is what a lot of the outer body explorers call home? What's more real, home or this physicality here? This, I mean, to me, there's no it's obvious. Okay. It's obvious. So it just blows my mind just to even talk about that. And the things that I've experienced and the things that I've seen and the conversations that I've had with other folks. It's just, there's so much more out there than just this. Okay. Let's see here. Just trying to get to these questions here. All right. Kim, you asked a great question. How long did it take you to learn this skill? So I was training for about 4 years. Now, the first 2 years, I'll be honest, it was off and on. How I got introduced to it, I was watching a documentary about superhuman people, and some kids, I think they were in like Switzerland or Ireland or somewhere in the UK. Um, they were all these kids were blindfolded, and I think a lot of you may have seen this. So if you guys remember what that documentary was, let me know here in the chat in the comments. But all these kids were blindfolded and they were running around the yards and riding their bikes and catching balls and playing games and reading, all blindfolded. And I was like, I said, what's happening here? What's going on here? I was so confused, but I was also intrigued. And I think they called it like mind vision or something like that. So, anyways, obviously I started Googling it and researching it and things like that, trying to find more about it. And I found two people on Facebook, and I'm very good friends with them today. Wendy Gallant and Rob Freeman. And you guys can find them. They both have their own channels, and they both are right now what I would think the leading people in the esoteric community who are also encouraging and teaching Mindsight, right? And right now they're both on two separate paths of what they're doing with Mindsight or Mind Vision in this case. But when I found them, they were together, working together, and I would be reaching out to them, say, "Hey, I want to learn from you," and blah blah blah. But they were getting so many people trying to learn this skill. And anyways, fast forward, I started my podcast. I reached out to them. They came on my show. So, guys, on my show, Beyond the Frequency 369, my routine podcast, you guys will see episodes with Wendy Gallant and Rob Freeman. So, by all means, please check those out. Very informative episodes as well. And you'll also find their links as well if you want to reach out to them. So, and then I also talked to other like-minded folks that were doing this as well. There was also Chris Fabio. Chris Fabio is another amazing guest that I also have on one of my other episodes as well. It's the episode that you'll see the thumbnail where he basically can create electricity out of his body and turn off lights and things like that. So you guys check him out. He's also cool too. He and I practiced for a little while as well. But folks, honestly, after that, my journey has just been just on my own, just taking the little bit of what I understand and trying to figure it out. And I realized I was being so aggressive, forcing it, trying to see. I have my blindfold on and it's just pitch dark. And I would be there for hours, 2-3 hours, attempting to view, to like push. I would strain my eyes trying to like, see through the cloth and stuff, right? I didn't really understand how to actually do it. And finally, through conversation, through trial and error, through just time, I just said, fuck it. I let go. And once I let go, that window just opened up. I was in my dining room facing my backyard, big window, sunny day, lights coming in. And I was probably using my blindfold. It was actually this one right here for about 15 minutes. I would put it on 10, 15 minutes every day just to kind of practice, right? And I ended up 14, 13 minutes in, I was like, I'm done. And I was about to take it off and I yawned. I just felt like yawning. I was like, oh. And then right in that moment, the only thing that I was thinking about was that yawn. Like, everything else just went away. The frustration, the boredom, everything just went away. And in that moment, folks, in that moment is when it opened up. I had this like when you're baby and your eyes are just opening up. I had that one eye, which is that window, it just kind of opened up. And folks, it was so clear, so clear. It wasn't like blurry. It wasn't like I was seeing like these, flashes of light. Folks, I have a pool in my backyard, and first thing I saw was light, and then I saw water, and I'm like, no, what? And I took off my blindfold quick, and I'm like, and then I checked it. I was like, is there a leak here? Did I break a hole? I'm looking through all of this. Folks, there was no leak. There was no leak. So I put it back on, gave it about a second or two, and it just opened up again like this. And I was just ecstatic. I was cheering. I was like smiling ear to ear. I was calling my wife. I was like, babe, I like, where are you? And she's like, I'm right here. I'm like, put up like 2 fingers. Or I said, put up some fingers or something. And she was like this or like this. And I was telling her, I see this, I see 5, I see you waving your hand, or I see you doing this, or thumbs up. And she even was like moving her arms around. And I'm like, I see you moving your arms. And she was like, whoa, that's awesome. And from there, it just stayed. And I took a break from it, right? I didn't want to like really wear it down. And I held on to that feeling the next day. I waited a full day. And the next day I held on to that feeling, and I put it back on with the excitement of like a little kid. And I had cards and other toys around and everything. And I started looking around, and as soon as I put it on, the window came back. It was there. It didn't go anywhere, which is what I thought it would. It was there. And I was looking around and just exploring and just just sitting there with my blindfold, but seeing through this one window. And it was the most coolest thing. I didn't care about anything else. And that was just amazing. And folks, I'm going to push this live. I say probably about another 15-20 minutes just to make sure that I can finish my topic, but also more importantly, engage and get to you guys' questions as well. So, so yeah, folks, it took me a while, but once I let go, I mean, it was a showstopper. Let me look at some of these questions here or comments. Let's see. All right. So somebody said here, Kennedy said that from what you just described, it makes me want to ask this. If you had 100% vision, actually, I'll put it up here. If you had 100% vision, would that basically be a 360 view? Hell, and some. So 100% vision, you mean like all the way around? Great question. So, Candy, I've thought about this. So, okay, right now, I have my left window and the one in the back, right? Those are on this left side. I've had my wife in front of me, like holding something. And then in the back, in my backyard through the window, there's a cactus on the table. I can see her and the cactus at the same time. Okay. And it sounds like it would be weird, maybe even uncomfortable, confusing. And it's not. It actually feels natural. It feels normal. Like I'm seeing both things, um, both areas at the same time. And it's the coolest thing, and what's weird about it, right? So now if I have all my sight, yeah, I think I would have the 360 view. I would assume so, right? But what I'm trying to do, Kennedy, is I want to be not only open up as many windows as I possibly can, but at some point, I want to be able to have a third person view. Okay. Like on a video game, on a video game where you're playing, you see the person. I want to be able to see me. Now, here's the question. Why do I want a third person view? Well, folks, when I leave my body, there have been times initially that I have been able to see uh, different perspective. Like when I see myself, right? Or like folks, when people do remote viewing, they're sending their consciousness, their awareness out somewhere else to be able to see what's going on. So they'll be able to see other people, they'll be able to probably see themselves, whatever the case is. So what I'm trying to do is remember what it is that I do in the outer body state and try to bring that into the in body state, if that makes sense. It's all about remembering. If you can do it on the outer body state, you can absolutely do it on the on the in body state. Absolutely. 110%. Okay. These five physical senses that we have here go hand in hand with the clairvoyant senses. All right. They're one in the same, folks. They're one in the same. We are just trained and convinced that all that there is just these five senses. We're told, stay in this lane, follow this narrative. That's what we're taught to do. But why? Now, we have these senses for a reason, very good reason. This is how we navigate through this experience. We need these five senses to navigate through this experience. But nobody ever said, the rule wasn't made that you had to forget your five other senses, your clairvoyant abilities. We came in through the veil as spiritual beings. We chose to have this human experience. So we came through the veil knowing that we were going to forget what we already knew. And the reason that we forget, folks, the reason that we forget is so we can emerge ourselves into this experience. Because if you knew of what you truly are, it could throw some people off, right? It could throw off the experience. And the experience, this isn't a bad experience. This is intentional. We chose from being omnipotent beings, godlike, if you will. We made a conscious choice to be what we are not, to experience what we're not, to be mortal, to be able to feel, to have limitations. So we chose this. So we need to immerse ourselves into it. So it's good to have the human experience, but folks, why wait till you transition over to remember what you truly are? If all of you right now that are watching this and have watched this show and other shows like it, it's about remembering that this reality that we're told that isn't the only thing that exists. There's more to this. There's a hell of a lot more to this. This is just one experience out of an infinite universe. Okay. I went on a rant there. So I apologize for those that I answer a little too much. But sometimes you just get channeled in and you get these things that you need to just say. So I hope a lot of you can resonate with that. Artie, so your question is a very valid question. Are your eyes closed under the mask? Okay. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So when you are, when I was doing it just now, my eyes were closed. But when you are practicing, when you first are practicing, you want your eyes open. Okay. Now, another rhetorical question. Why do I say open your eyes under the mask? And the answer to that is because you have to make sure that you are telling the mind what it is that you're doing. The mind doesn't control you, you control it. Okay. The mind is a receiver. So you have to tell it what you want it to do. Even though it tries to follow the program that it has, you can still control it. So when you're in darkness, and if you close your eyes, you're telling the mind, I don't want to see. That's literally what you're telling the mind. But if you're in darkness with the blindfold and you have your eyes open, you're telling the mind, I want to see. I know it's dark, but I want to see. And then that's where your journey starts. And for those of you that are practicing, do this for, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour. Who knows? But just sit there or lay there with your blindfold, listen to some music. I would say some hemi-sync is wonderful. And the first thing that you guys will probably start seeing is these sparkles of light, like twinkling in the night sky. When you start seeing these twinkly lights, now you know it's starting. Okay. Because what it is that your mind is now trying to figure out what's happening here. I want to see, but I'm not seeing with my eyes. So I need to redirect. How do I get this vision? Okay. Because your body's still receiving light. Your eyes receive light. This is how you're able to see. Okay. Along with the other senses. But if you take that away, you're still receiving that same data. Whatever's outside here, or whatever you think is outside here, that information is still floating around. So you don't have to just get it with your eyes. You can get it through your skin. Dermal vision. Let's see here. How have your results been when attempting Mindsight without the mask? Valid question as well. So I was a little bit worried at first, where I was like, man, if my windows are open, will I ever be able to sleep? That's a valid question. Am I going to be able to sleep when I close my eyes? And the answer is yes, you absolutely are. So somehow, and I don't know how, but somehow my mind knows and is trained to just activate Mindsight when I put on a blindfold or when I cover my eyes with the intention for Mindsight to open them up. So when I go to sleep at night and I close my eyes, there is no intention that I want to see. I want to go to sleep and close my eyes. So a lot of it has to do with intention, and your mind knows that. And once you train it enough times, it knows. Okay. So I hope that answers your question there. Set your intention. Let's see here. Kim, what was your biggest challenge in learning this skill? Wow, what a fantastic question, Kim. My biggest challenge in learning this was believing that I could do it. Believing that I could do it. Like, I could say all day when I was training prior to, man, I'm open, I'm ready, like I'm ready to do this. But I really wasn't. I was just saying it. I was saying it, trying to convince myself. But low key in the back of my mind, I was still being like aggressive. I was still forcing it. And then here comes the skepticism where I'm just like, man, is this really a thing? Like, and how am I special, more special than anybody else? You know, this is where my mind at that time frame was, where I wasn't thinking about the oneness of all, you know, that you're no more special than I am and vice versa. But I was thinking, I still had that mindset of separation, right? Like they're doing it. They must be better than I am. They must be higher frequency and you know, light beings, and I'm not. I had all these thoughts in my head, and this is why I wasn't opening up. And once I changed my mindset and the belief, the understanding that I can do this, like I felt it in the center of my heart. I felt it. I know, and I threw love in it. You have to love yourself too. Love yourself. If you are trying to do something that seems separate from you, um, then you're going to have a challenge, a hard time getting it done, because nothing is separate from you. Separation is an illusion. Okay. Everything, just like I explained to you regarding the dream, how it all comes from you right now, as I speak, as you're listening, as you're watching this, everything that's around you is coming from you. The light, everything that you see, everything that you're touching is coming from you. So once I started understanding and put myself in that mindset, then I was able to really let go and understand that this was something familiar and natural to me. So I hope that answers that question. Let's see here. All right, Carla. Let's see what you're saying here. You said 3D feels more real because that's what we are conditioned to believe is reality. But that deepens the magic with other realms and colors and codes. I know it's real, but the amazement whenever it goes away. Yeah, absolutely. So no forcing, just surrender and flow with it. Absolutely, Carla. Thank you. Let's see. Carla, you were practicing with your reading and doing remote viewing with your by accident, and you never met her in person. I'm sorry. Okay, so you've talked to somebody that you practicing mind reading and remote, but you saw her in her driveway up the hill in a driveway to her deck. That's pretty cool. Remote viewing is also part of this whole situation too. And folks, I'll be closing out here in about 2 minutes. So just to let you guys know, or two or 3 minutes. We'll actually see here. Actually, let's do it right on the hour. So it's I got about 6:54 p.m. Eastern on my time. So we'll do it right at 8 o'clock, folks. Don't want to hold you guys hostage here or anything like that, right? Han, always fascinating. Fascinated with this. Thank you for all that you do, Han. Thank you for supporting me and the channel and the community. If you're just joining us just now, anybody, again, I have a Discord. Make sure that you join it. You'll see the link after the show. It'll be underneath the description. So just click on there, join the discussion, join the 369 Collective, which is our new community name. So I'm looking forward to having conversations with all of you. Ask me whatever you want, man. Let's figure it out. Let's talk. Let's see here. All right, so we don't know, and this will be the last question that I'll take here. Have I practiced remote viewing? I have, and that might be even another solo episode that we can cover that. But yes, I do remote viewing, not as often. It's in my tool belt of things. Not really completely super interested in it, only because I'm able to achieve that and more through the outer body state. The remote viewing is just more of just sending your awareness somewhere and then seeing it. But now that I can go outer body, I just kind of go there. So it's just picking what you want to do, right? Okay, so folks, let's get to the wrapping up of the show. Let's see here. Let me get to this. All right. So I think I've answered most questions. If anything, folks, if you're watching the playback, throw them down in the comments. Let's talk. I'll answer them. It's me. I don't have a robot that's answering all my stuff. And I'll get to them to the best of my ability. But again, email me, catch me on my website, on my socials, and things like that. Let's see here. And in closing, folks, I want to thank all of you for joining me on this solo podcast. Again, Beyond 369, the live current. Again, the Beyond the 369 is just to have a conversation, have a segment that's outside of the actual routine show. The live, because we're doing this live, and the current is us. It's us having this conversation, and that's what I really want to do. This is my objective. This is what I would like for all of you guys to be a part of, because communication is so key. We cannot learn if we don't speak to each other. We have to have conversation. It is so important, whether it be through the digital formats with the algorithm, or just going outside and talking to someone who lives down the street from you, right? Communication is so important. And I do my best to represent that mindset by bringing in all kinds of guests from all walks of life. There is no judgment. I remind folks that you cannot have unconditional love with a judgment, and you can't have ultimate freedom with a limitation. So don't judge, just talk, just speak, listen. All right. You're going to learn something. I learn a lot more from talking to people than reading a book. All right. Through experiences. That's how we collect the information. So hopefully you guys can continue doing that in your lives as well. And don't forget, I have that's actually the wrong one. Okay. Like, subscribe, share this with folks, talk about it at work, on breaks, things like that. Don't forget that all my links that I've mentioned today will be in the description. So give me a few hours to just kind of post edit this. And Kaizar's Chronicles, the Anunnaki, which is my first of many books that I'm putting out there. It's on Amazon. Please go check it out. Look at it. I have some previews also on my website. You guys can also read a little bit more about it and learn more about what that is. And again, my website, beyondthefrequency369.com. You'll find everything that you need there. The last thing is 3,000, guys. 3,000. This is how many subs I would like to have before the end of the year. If you guys can help me out with this will be great. If I get 3,000 subscribers, it's going to allow me to do a whole lot more with this podcast, be able to open up a lot of different features and things and opportunities. And on these lives, folks, on these live episodes, I can also use this feature to where we can do live call-ins. So that means that instead of you guys just having to just chat and write down your comments, I will give you guys the ability with a link to call in. And if you have a camera and a mic or whatever the case is, you guys can just jump on and talk. You know, that is something very cool that I like to get to, but I need to get to 3,000 subscribers first on YouTube. So tell your friends, send it to your neighbors, send it to your family, and hopefully, you know, we can get there before the end of the year or sooner. And that's it, folks. And with that being said, I will always give you my outro is I love you. I see you. I hear you. I am you. Continue to ask questions. Don't be afraid to pull back the curtain. Look forward, always reaching beyond the frequency.